When used properly, your Vermeer tub grinder will give you many hours of productive service. It's equipped with useful safety features to help protect you from serious injury. But safe work practices are also a necessary part of accident prevention. The machine is capable of causing serious injury if used improperly. Exercise caution and use good judgment. Your safety depends on it. Even though the machines shown in this program may not be the exact model you use, the safety messages and operational concepts will be the same. Consult your operator's manual for specific machine control and panel instructions. This video of the Vermeer tub grinder will show you how to position the machine on site and how to prepare the work site to warn onlookers. How to prepare the machine for grinding operations. How to operate the machine during grinding. How to prepare the machine for transport. And how to set up and operate the loader if your machine has this option. This video is part of the library of instructional materials that comes with each Vermeer tub grinder. In addition to this video, there is a guidebook containing information and exercises that reinforce the concepts presented. At specific points in the video, you'll be asked to stop the video and refer to the guidebook. Also, there are 2 operators' manuals, one in the library and a second cabled to the machine. Vermeer has produced this video to demonstrate operation and safety basics. The video and guidebook are not intended to be substitutes for a thorough reading and understanding of the operator's manual and its safety instructions. Because the video presents selected operations, the program will often refer you to the operator's manual for explanations and more detailed instructions. It is very important that you become familiar with operational and safety information before operating the tub grinder. It's not enough just to know how to start and operate the machine. You must exercise safe working practices and use good judgment. Only then will you be able to use the tub grinder productively and in a safe manner. If you're aware of others who will operate the machine, advise them to read the operator's manual carefully and watch this video. Carefully supervise any inexperienced operators. Everyone must heed the safety messages placed on the machine. They are important reminders for safe operation of the machine. This section of the program will show important site preparation considerations. When the tub grinder is moved on site, important decisions need to be made that affect the overall safety of the job site. Always look for any power lines in the area. Remember that the conveyor, tub, and loader will be raised during setup and operation. In their extended positions, the conveyor, tub, and loader must maintain safe clearance from any power line. Death or serious injury will result if anyone touches the machine while it is electrically charged because of contact with power lines. The tub grinder is intended to grind organic material. As sold, it's designed to operate outdoors, in the open, far away from people, buildings, and traffic. Tub grinders may throw some material out of the tub while grinding. With careful planning and good judgment, you can minimize and control ejected material and provide a safer work environment. An important feature of the Vermeer tub grinders are the thrown object restraint systems. These systems have 2 elements, a rotor deflector and a tub cover. These 2 items work together to reduce the quantity and distance that objects are thrown. Keep both elements in good working order to maximize their effect. The tub cover is designed to close a portion of the tub opening. This is the normal operating mode. The tub cover can also be rotated into its transport position. When in transport position, the tub cover does not cover the tub and is in the open position. Before setting up the tub grinder, be sure to inspect your raw material pile for the presence of prohibited materials. Some materials, such as these shown here, are not grindable in any quantity. If it is not practical to ensure complete removal of these materials, do not grind. These include materials and products containing toxic substances. They may be harmful to workers and contaminate the grinding site. Explosive or flammable materials, including chemicals, liquids, and gases which can ignite or explode, cannot be ground. Do not grind tires or heavy solid steel. They can eject from the tub up to the maximum distances specified in the potential thrown object zones. Materials containing traces of these objects may be ground if they are impractical to completely remove from an approved material pile, if they are small in size, if they are few in quantity, and if the tub is kept as full as practical. Remember that with sufficient size, weight, and sharpness, glass, heavy rigid plastic, sheet metal, masonry, and other stone materials can eject a substantial distance from the tub and cause serious personal injury. Attempting to grind hard materials may damage the rotor, hammers, and other machine parts. These diagrams show potential thrown object zones for different models of Vermeer tub grinders. When setting up on site, you must follow the directions contained in your operator's manual and on the decals for your size machine. If you're grinding permitted materials with the tub cover closed, the thrown object areas will be the smallest area as shown in green on the decals for normal operating mode. If you're not confident all prohibited materials are removed, you must provide for a larger thrown object zone around the machine, as represented by the red and white lined areas for normal operating mode. Most often you will be operating under one of these conditions. There are certain conditions, however, when you may operate with the cover open if you have sufficient clearance distance. This is defined as conditional operation mode. If you're grinding permitted material such as long logs and you're having difficulty grinding with the cover closed, and if you have proper clearance distances as illustrated on your machine's decals, you can operate the tub grinder with the tub cover open. If you're not confident that all prohibited material is removed from the pile, you must provide for the largest thrown object zone as shown on your machine's decal. It is critically important that all traveled streets, sidewalks, playgrounds, and houses adjacent to the area where the tub grinder is working must be outside the perimeter of the potential thrown object zone. In this example, the machine is being operated improperly. The tub cover is open and the machine has been placed too close to inhabited buildings. Make sure all people and buildings are well out of range of the potential thrown object zone. Projectiles may be thrown from the tub grinder and injure people in those buildings. While objects can still be thrown from the machine with the tub cover closed, the distance and quantity of objects is reduced. Once you've located the proper spot for the tub grinder, keep unauthorized persons and vehicles out of the potential thrown object zone. Position warning cones at the perimeter of the zone, where unauthorized persons and vehicles are most likely to approach. If you need more cones, you can obtain them from your Vermeer dealer. The warning cones have a warning decal on them. Always face the decal toward the outside of the zone so that approaching people can read it. If people move into the zone, tell them that they could be injured and warn them to stay out. Workers must wear a hard hat, safety glasses, hearing protection, and work shoes. In dusty conditions, workers also may need to wear a respirator. While grinding, however, a hard hat alone is not sufficient protection from falling objects. Anyone inside the potential thrown object zone may be hit and seriously injured by a falling projectile. All personnel must be in designated protected areas. This is the end of the section on site preparation. Stop the tape and follow the directions in the guidebook for this section of the video. If you have set out safety cones on your worksite and established your potential thrown object zone correctly, you're ready to set up the machine and begin operations. To disconnect the unit from the tractor, assemble any front landing pads or stabilizers and lower them until the weight of the machine is off the tractor. Be sure that the tub grinder's pads are on firm, solid ground so they don't sink into the ground. Disconnect all hoses and cables from the tractor and drive the tractor outside the potential thrown object zone so that the tractor will not be damaged by falling debris. Raise the falling object canopy over the operator's station. Secure it in the raised position. The canopy is designed to help protect an operator from falling objects. Start the engine. Read your operator's manual for the specifics on how to start the engine properly. Depending on your model of Vermeer tub grinder, you may have optional rear outriggers. With the engine at idle, lower the rear outriggers. Be careful that both sides are raised evenly and that the machine is level. It is possible to deform the frame if the tub grinder is not level during operation. With the engine running, unfold the conveyor. Whenever you unfold the conveyor, be sure there's plenty of clearance from any electrical power lines. Adjust the angle of your conveyor to the desired height for material discharge. Some models also allow you to adjust the discharge conveyor to either side. Make sure all personnel are away from the discharge area when it's operating. Start the conveyor and adjust its speed. Beware of the hazard of possible entanglement in any moving conveyor. The optional magnetic end roller will attract and pull off unwanted metallic objects. Decreasing the volume of material and slowing the conveyor speed increases the efficiency of the magnetic end roller. Stop the conveyor when you're through setting it up. Now, prepare the tub for operation. Do this according to the operator manual's instructions for your particular machine. Since the tub flares were in transport position, unfold and bolt them to the stationary part of the tub. For some tub grinder models, you'll have to close and secure the tub cover before tilting the tub to attach the tub flares. Keep all personnel clear of the tub while it is tilting. When you attach tub flares, always bolt the tub flares from the ground, not from on top of the machine. Before you start production, it's a good practice to check the rotor assembly for any obvious problems. Make sure the tub is completely raised and that the engine is off before beginning your inspections. Check the cutting elements to see if they need replacing. Check the hammers for pin wear and surface wear. If your hammers have threaded teeth or bolted cutting blocks, check the torque on the mounting hardware. Make sure the torque is set according to the specifications in the operator's manual. Also check for wear on the bars that keep the teeth or blocks from rotating. If these things are not checked regularly and carefully, cutting elements can become loose and be thrown out of the tub to the maximum distances shown on the potential thrown object diagram. Waiting too long to replace worn components can cause premature hammer surface wear and will increase operating costs. On some models, there is an auto brake in the clutch assembly. Because of this, you may need a pry bar or other means to assist the rotor in rotating for inspection. This is the time to change screens if desired. The screens seen here size the material. The high-speed hammers force the material against the screen, grinding it as it goes through. Be cautious and alert whenever you change screens. A jammed screen could break free and lift suddenly as you pull up on it. Make sure you are standing clear. Never use the engine to rotate the hammer mill with the tub in the raised position. With a tub in the raised position, it could cause a jammed screen to suddenly rotate upward and cause serious injury. Screens come with various size openings and configurations. You'll use different size openings depending on the desired size of your end product and the amount of productivity that you want. Larger openings for a larger, coarser end product, smaller openings for a finer, more uniform product. You will get higher levels of production by using screens with larger openings. There are also specialty screens and half screens for other applications. Before you close the tub, clear away any debris from the top of the frame so the tub can fully close. The tub holds the screens in place, so a tight fit is important. Make sure all pivot points are clear of debris before closing the tub. You can now lower the tub. On machines with the tub cover mounted to the main frame, unlock the cover by disengaging the mechanical transport lock and opening the hydraulic cover lock. Rotate the tub cover to its operating position. Lock the tub cover. A set of indicator lights has been provided to notify you of the various positions of the tub cover. Check the indicator lights to make sure the cover is securely locked. Follow the operator's manual to test the warning lights and warning buzzer before operating the tub grinder. This is the end of the section on setup. Stop the tape and follow the directions in the guidebook for this section of the video. In this section of the program, we will demonstrate grinding operations. As you operate the tub grinder, continually watch for prohibited material entering the tub. If you know or suspect that prohibited material has entered the tub, immediately stop the feed operation by stopping tub rotation. Then disengage the hammer mill and wait for the rotor assembly to completely stop. Remove the prohibited material by dumping the tub. Resume operations. With these preparations underway, we'll now demonstrate grinding operations. While grinding, there are only a few recommended areas where workers may operate the machine. One operating location is in an enclosed loader using the remote control. A second protected area is in the cab of your Vermeer tub grinder's loader, if your tub grinder model has one. If you use the remote controls, follow carefully the instructions in your operator's manual. If you use a separate loader, your loader must be fully enclosed. An enclosed cab provides continuous protection from deflected, thrown, and falling debris. The loader lifting height should be high enough to be able to reach and dump into the tub of your grinder. If your loader reach is too low, it may hook on the tub flange when dumping material. Also, make sure your raised loader bucket has ample clearance away from any power lines. The ground control station is also a protected area from which the engine is usually started and stopped, and where other adjustments to the grinding operation can be made. However, continuous operation of the tub grinder from this station is not recommended. While grinding, there may be times when it's necessary to walk between the recommended operating positions and the ground station controls. When you do, take the following precautions. Wear a hard hat. Keep the tub as full as practical. Stop the tub rotation. Approach the machine control panel from the side. Be alert to falling objects and don't stop or linger in an unprotected area. Before starting production, make sure that all personnel and any unenclosed loader are outside the potential thrown object zone. During this walk-around, check to visually inspect the tub cover to make sure it's locked in position. With the machine at idle, engage the hammer mill according to the directions in the operator's manual. If you have not yet rotated and locked the tub cover into the closed operating position, and you start the hammer mill, a buzzer sound will alert you. Only under the conditions described earlier can you operate with the tub cover open. Raise your engine to full RPM. Start the conveyor and check the conveyor speed. Set the tub rotation to auto, then adjust your tub rotation speed. The auto tub rotation feature works this way. When the engine is working under load at full RPM, the tub will move in the forward or clockwise direction. When the engine RPM slows down because of a load on the hammer mill, the tub will automatically reverse and pull material away from the hammers until the load is lightened. If you have selected auto stop rather than auto reverse, the tub will stop rotation and the hammer mill will continue to grind in the stationary position until the load on it decreases and the RPM increases. When the RPM of the engine recovers, the tub resumes forward rotation. Whenever possible, place previously ground material in the tub before you start production. Material loaded onto an exposed hammer mill is most likely to be ejected from the tub. This is also when material can be thrown the greatest distance and with the greatest velocity. This pre-ground material partially covers the rotor and helps prevent larger material from being thrown from the tub. An operator's basic functions during operation consists of loading material, watching the tub for problems, listening to the engine, watching the material discharged from the conveyor, and monitoring worksite safety. You should keep the tub at least half full at all times. If not, it will have a greater tendency to throw material. Your loader, however, should not pile material too high. Bridging and loss of production may occur. Adjust this level based on the material you're grinding and what you're experiencing in the way of thrown debris. If the discharge conveyor is relatively full and the engine is working at full RPM, everything is normal. However, if the conveyor is empty, the tub is full, and the engine is revving up, then most likely you have a bridging problem. To remove a bridging problem, switch the tub rotation to manual and toggle from forward to reverse. This shaking of the tub should free the bridged material. When you notice end product coming off the conveyor, switch back to automatic tub rotation. If you're continually experiencing bridging, load shorter material. Load material to the side of the tub. Mix heavy and light loads, or load smaller batches. A good rule of thumb to follow if you're having bridging problems is to decrease the amount of material in the tub to half full. However, if too much material is being thrown, increase the amount of material in the tub. There are times when material may jam underneath the tub cover and stop the tub rotation. To prevent this, make sure your material length is as short as practical. If material still jams against the tub cover, follow these steps to clear the jam. First, switch to manual tub rotation and reverse the tub. Usually, this will clear the material. If you're using a tub grinder with a grapple loader, reach into the tub with the optional loader grapple and carefully retrieve a portion of the material. If this still doesn't clear the jam, or you have a tub grinder model without a loader, stop the tub rotation. Unlock the tub cover, rotate the tub cover to an open position momentarily, and grind it low enough so it doesn't catch. Make sure that you have maximum potential thrown object zone clearance. As soon as this material is cleared, close the tub cover and lock it in place. If the tub is stopped and grinds away at a lodged piece of material long enough, a fire may result, so you should be aware of where the fire extinguisher is on the tub grinder for such an event. If you see smoke, jog the tub to loosen contact between the material and the hammers. Try this repositioning of the tub to allow the hammer mill to grind through the material. Never leave the hammer mill running with material in the tub and without tub rotation for any extended period of time. Fire may result. If the engine is laboring and the discharge conveyor is void of material, it's likely that the screens or one or more of the conveyors are plugged. You will have to stop the machine and clean it out. Turn the tub rotation off from the remote controls. For all tub grinder models, you must go to the controls at the ground control station to disengage the hammer mill. Some models require that the engine be throttled down before the hammer mill can be disengaged. Disengage the clutch. Allow enough time for the hammer mill to come to a complete stop. The tub tilt lockout will prevent you from lifting the tub while the hammer mill is running. Shut off the conveyor. Never look into the tub when the rotor is turning, and never attempt to manually dislodge materials inside the tub when the hammer mill or tub is rotating. To determine when the hammer mill has stopped and the tub table can be raised, position yourself to see whether the drive shaft is still turning. Also, make sure the pivot areas for the tub table are free of debris so that the fenders are not damaged when the tub is raised. Unlock the tub cover and open it fully so you can raise the tub. Some models must be tilted with the tub cover in the closed position. Raise the tub to its full open position to dump material and to gain access to the plugged screens or belly conveyor. If only the belly conveyor area is plugged with material, with the engine running, you can use the belly conveyor jog switch to move the conveyor back and forth to free up the material. If this was not the problem and the screens are plugged, use the engine lock switch on the side of the machine to stop the engine and to prevent the engine from restarting. On machines without an engine lockout switch, shut off the engine and remove the key. Clean out the plugged screens. If the screens are badly plugged, you may need to pull them out. Never run the hammer mill to clean out a jam-up. The hammers can throw material or cause the screen to suddenly rotate upwards. If you're continually experiencing plugging, you may want to slow down tub rotation, vary your screen sizes, or increase the size of the screen openings. When you have finished cleaning out the plugged screens, and before lowering the tub, clean off the tub frame and pivot areas for the tub and the top of the screens to make sure they're free of any debris. This will enable the tub to lie flush on the frame and hold the screens down tight. If the tub does not lie flush, hinge points could be damaged. If your model required you to open the tub cover before accessing the screens, lower the tub, close and lock the tub cover securely in place before you resume grinding. This is the end of the section on tub grinder operations. Stop the tape and follow the directions in the guidebook for this section of the video. In this section of the program, we'll show you normal shutdown and preparation for transport procedures. For some machines, prepare the unit for transport by unlocking the tub cover and rotating it to the transport position. Other models require that the tub cover be closed before lifting the tub table and folding in the tub flares. Lock the cover. Check the indicator lights to make sure the cover is secured. Engage the mechanical transport lock if your machine requires it. If the tub cover is not securely locked, it may swing out unexpectedly into traffic during transport. Raise and secure any rear stabilizers if your machine has them. Raise the tub to its full open position and unbolt and hinge both tub flares in. Lower the tub to its transport position. Rotate the tub until the folded flares align with the sides of the machine. Lift and fold the conveyor into its transport position. Swing discharge conveyors must be centered before being folded. On some tub grinder models, the tractor must be attached to the machine and the hydraulic front outriggers raised before removing and storing the outrigger pads. Stow the safety cones, remote control unit, and hard hats. Shut off the engine. Disconnect the battery switch and close the control panel cover. Lower and secure the falling object canopy. Remove debris from the entire machine, and especially from the engine area and brakes. This helps prevent the chance of a fire occurring. It also cleans the machine and prepares it for transport. Loose objects may fall into the path of passing vehicles and cause serious injury or death. Also close and lock all compartment doors and covers. If they're not secured properly, they may open unexpectedly into the path of traffic. Stop the tape and follow the directions in the guidebook for this section of the video. The program will now present the specifics of setting up, operating, and preparing for transport the optional loader. To set up your tub grinder with a loader attachment, lower the front stabilizers. The front stabilizers are close to the control panel area. Make sure these stabilizers do not contact you while lowering or raising. They can crush or injure you. To move the loader from its transport position, with the engine idling, tilt the cab up and into the work position. Climb the access ladder to the platform on the side of the machine opposite the control panel. The handrail is folded down for transport. Raise it and secure it according to the instructions in the operator's manual. Secure the red chain to help prevent anyone from climbing onto this restricted area during operation. With the engine idling, toggle the mode switch on the operator's console to cab so you can operate the machine from the cab once you get there. Climb the access ladder to the lower platform leading to the cab door. Attach the red safety chain across the opening at the top of this ladder. Once again, this is to help prevent anyone climbing the ladder onto this restricted area while the loader is in operation. Because of the rotation of the loader, this is a hazardous place to stand. The upper deck handrails have been collapsed for transport. Secure the handrails into the upright position. Then secure the cab in the work position. The operator's manual explains the proper procedures to do this. When you enter or exit the loader cab, flip up the right armrest so you can enter the cab more easily and so you don't bump the controls. Since the engine is on, these controls are live and there may be some unexpected motion if you bump the controls. Once inside the door, close the door completely. The loader will rotate only when the door is fully closed, so you're protected from objects thrown from the tub. If you must exit the cab and the door will not open because it's obstructed, follow the provided instructions to remove the cab door window. Become familiar with the loader's controls and features. Refer to the operator's manual for all cab, loader, and grapple functions. Never swing a load of material over people on the ground. If people approach the area while you're operating it, sound the horn and warn them to stay away. A lift chart has been provided so you can understand the crane's lift capacity. Study this chart and use the crane accordingly. Never exceed lift capacity. When operating the crane and grapple, set heavy material into the tub. Don't drop it. Heavy material could damage the rotor and tub. Set material into the far end of the tub where your line of sight from the cab is clearest. As a general rule, you can set the grapple into the tub to release material, but keep the grapple swivel above the top of the tub cover so you don't risk contacting the hammer mill with the grapple. Some types of material may bridge and not feed down into the hammer mill. Sometimes, to remove a bridging problem, you may need to use the grapple arms to pick up and reposition the material in the tub for freer feeding into the hammer mill. If you have plugged screens or plugged conveyors, turn auto rotation off. Rotate the loader to one side of the machine and set the grapple on the ground. Throttle down the engine to idle. Dismount the cab to turn the engine off and follow clean-out procedures for the screens or conveyor. To prepare the loader for transport, you must reverse the setup procedures. First, carefully line up and stow the crane in the cradle. Lower the engine to idle. Raise the armrest to avoid contact with the joysticks and exit the cab. Remove and store the cab frame bolts. Lower the cab platform railings. Resecure them after they are lowered. Dismount ladders carefully, always facing the ladder. Lower the railing on the left walkway. Be sure the railing is down. If it's up, the cab will damage it when tilted down for transport. Tilt the cab down. Now you're ready to proceed with the remainder of the transport preparation steps as described in the earlier part of this program. This is the end of this program. Follow safe working practices and use good judgment when setting up, operating, and transporting your Vermeer tub grinder. Thanks for watching.